Hello, I'm Latif Sharif with Risetime, and the topic of this webcast is titled, What is SharePoint? SharePoint is a browser-based collaboration tool which can be used as an intranet, extranet, or a public-facing internet site. Although the popularity of SharePoint public sites is increasing daily, SharePoint became popular as a collaboration tool that allows team members to work together on documents, have discussions, view events on shared calendars, and stay active on tasks for various projects. In this webcast, you will learn a few differences between WSS and MOSS, features and capabilities of SharePoint through a demo of SharePoint that I will present, how SharePoint can be beneficial to your organization. The SharePoint platform. SharePoint is built on the ASP.NET 2.0 platform, on which WSS and all SharePoint products and technologies are built. SharePoint is built on an open scalable architecture with support for web service standards including XML and SOAP and rich APIs and event handlers for lists and documents. These features provide easy integration with existing systems and flexibility with non-Microsoft technologies. WSS, Windows SharePoint Services 3.0. WSS is included with Windows Server as a free download for those with Windows Server license and is suitable for small teams, projects, and organizations. Its project collaboration, document workspace, meeting subsite, and discussion board features allow individuals and small teams to collaborate and share information online. New features in WSS 3.0 include blogs, RSS feeds, ASP-style web parts, integrated workflows, and wikis. MOSS 2007, which stands for Microsoft Office SharePoint Server. Microsoft Office SharePoint Server is a collaborative enterprise portal that is built on top of WSS. MOSS allows people and teams to stay connected and collaborate. Unlike WSS, SharePoint Server is not free and requires an additional license for the standard or enterprise editions. The main components of SharePoint 2007 are collaboration, portals, enterprise search, enterprise content management, business process and forms, business intelligence. Another major difference between MOSS and WSS is that MOSS contains a concept called Shared Service Provider. An example of this is that we can import all the profile information from Active Directory once, and then our various web applications can consume that data. Let me show you around this SharePoint site homepage that connects people to the right resources and allows people to be more efficient. This site comes with the default layout, navigational hyperlinks, and lists such as announcements, calendars, and links. This row of tabs at the top is called a top link bar and contains links to our most popular sites. We use a quick launch bar here at the left to open documents, calendars, blogs, and more. And I can customize this very easily by adding sites and links and changing their orders. I'll use this quick launch bar to open a document library. This document library is where we store documents to support any initiatives or projects. The library also stores information about each document, such as when it was last modified, who modified it, and who the owner of that document is. Now, when I upload a new document, I can select the location name from the drop-down and specify other information about the document. In this Microsoft Word view, which is compatible with SharePoint, I can also view and change the same properties for that document within Microsoft Word. I can also specify other properties of this document also within Microsoft Word. Now let's close this and go back to the document library. In our library, we can store and create different types of content. Our site owner can set up multiple content types, each with its own template and property or column types. This is also referred to as metadata, which simply means information about the content. To create a new document from the document library, I can click New, and then select the type of document I want to create. After a file is created, many people work to review and update it before it's finished. We don't want multiple people working on the document at the same time, so we check the document out before we modify it. To check out this file, I point to its name and then click Checkout. When I'm using a program that's compatible with SharePoint, I can work with the file on my computer or take it with me on my laptop. When the file is checked out, its icon changes. Right now, I'm the only person that can work on this file. When I check this file back in, my team can see my changes and check the file out if they need to. They can also be automatically notified once I've checked in the file, so they can start making changes. Another way we manage information is we track the version history of lists and libraries. Let's look at the version history of this expense form. To do that, I click on the drop-down arrow and I go to version history. Each version is numbered. Our library tracks major versions when files are ready for review and minor versions when we're still updating a file. Changes to properties are also tracked. If I needed to restore a previous version, I would just point to the version and click Restore. To return to my library, I can use breadcrumb navigation. These breadcrumbs help people understand where they are in the site structure. I'll simply click on the document library name to return to the regular view of our library. You've now seen that documents can change often with newer major and minor versions. But how do I stay updated to all the changes? On the Actions menu, I can subscribe to RSS feeds for this document library, or I can receive email notifications when changes are made within this document library. Sometimes we need to control access to sensitive documents, such as this particular policy document. To do that, we use permission levels to determine which users can edit or view our content. We need unique settings for certain files. I start by going to the actual file name, click the drop-down, and click Manage Permissions. I can pick from the users list for the people I want to add to this document, or I can add a new user from Active Directory. If an owner needs to change the permissions, they simply have to update these specific permissions. Let's go back to the site. Now I'll show you another area of our site that helps us feel more secure about our content. Even though team members can be careful, they may delete the wrong document or content. And when they do, the content is sent to the site recycle bin where they can be recovered. To restore a certain document, I click on the checkbox and then click Restore. Now that I've shown you the content, how it's stored, and how we can find it, I'll show you how we can share a site or content with new people. The site owner would simply click People and Groups, and then add a new team member named Josh Metcalf to this site members group. To do that, on the New menu, I click Add Users. Then I search for Josh in our address book, which can be easily configured with Active Directory. I search for Josh, and once I find him, I click on his name and click Add. We can choose to send Josh an email welcoming him to the site so he's notified and can start contributing. Now that you've seen a brief demo of SharePoint's capabilities, let's talk about why SharePoint can be useful for your organization. 1, it can help you keep track of multiplying documents and their locations by storing files in one location and sharing them in a central site with all or few selected team members. SharePoint provides robust search functionality that cuts the amount of time users spend searching for data and information. Companies today have multiple office locations in different countries, consisting of separate departments. SharePoint enables teams to collaborate regardless of where they are located. Creating intranet sites from scratch and then having to maintain them is difficult and time-consuming. SharePoint allows anyone to create sites for use within their company's intranet, as they're needed, whether they're for specific teams, departments, document libraries, wikis, blogs, or discussion boards. For more information about Risetime, please visit us at www.risetime.com